Just no, I said I would. I wrote it down. That was scripted. Yeah, doesn't count.
Because if the YouTube algorithm doesn't consider it, it's not real.
Niguki with my other option for the punchline for that bit was the that's what Live Leak is for, the real violence. So I wonder, because wrestling was getting tamped down on YouTube for a while. I wonder if that affects wrestling as well.
They were getting tamped down for violence?
Yeah, a bunch of wrestling focused channels were being demonetized. For, I assume, for that.
Not for like copyright stuff?
No. No, like just people talking about wrestling. Or actual wrestling. Like some smaller wrestling promotions were like putting their own stuff up on YouTube.
I mean, I feel like would still probably trip the things.
Oh, Lyrazel64 says, so I legit laughed at least 5 times during this.
Yay!
Thank you. Success.
Were we good on the story?
Yeah, because I read the first one already, so yes. Yes, we're good. Apodionysus, didn't Campo Santo have that Egyptian setting game pretty far old? So, just like Half-Life 3. Beej and I got real mad at YouTube yesterday because they have
Mike 3 over there, right?
Yeah, because they're the COPPA thing.
Oh yeah.
Because they were collecting data on children, which they shouldn't have been doing, and now that's our problem. It's like you can just walk through.
Yeah, let me just,
and so it's like, whether or not you have to say that, like you have to mark your video as whether or not it's for kids, right? And so it's like if your video's intended audience is children, then you have to say that. Then you have to say, yes, my video is for kids. If your video's intended audience is not children, but children make up a large part of the audience, then you also have to say that. So, however...
Doesn't YouTube know that better than you do?
Yes, except now they're not allowed to know it. Yeah, that's the problem. My biggest complaint is what is children? They don't define that in their update. Right? What does children mean?
For COPPA, isn't it 13?
I guess. Darth Rages, I think that was just because we needed a screenshot of WoW. So yeah. Minors. So under 13. Okay. Because it doesn't actually say that in YouTube's update. So, hey. Yeah, what's up? Okay. All right.
Sigh.
So anyway, we've determined that none of our content is for children because while the magic stuff does get watched by kids,
it's not for that.
It's not for them necessarily. Also, if like a 10-year-old is watching, they're probably doing it on their parents' YouTube account, and that doesn't count as a 10-year-old. So,
Loading Ray Run content is for adults and also babies. Nothing in between.
I can tell you our key demographic is 18 to 24. That's our biggest demo on YouTube anyway. I don't actually have that kind of granular stuff on Twitch.
We're down with the kids.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like that's number 1, and then number 2 is 25 to 34, and then number 3 is 13 to 18, and then YouTube doesn't tell you after that.
After that, it's like old people. We don't care.
That's the thing is that because YouTube isn't allowed to know this, right? So they don't tell you if people under 13 watch your stuff. So like I have no idea how many people under 13 watch our stuff because YouTube isn't allowed to know, so they don't have any information about it.
So they're newly not allowed to know?
They've always been not allowed to know. They just did it. See, so the whole thing is that they can't put targeted ads on content for children because to have it be targeted ads, they have to be collecting data on the children, which they're not allowed to do, and we're never allowed to do, but we're doing anyway. And now it's our problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they still want you to say whether it's...
Yes.
I see.
Beej and I spent several minutes yesterday just yelling back and forth at one another. We were angry at YouTube, but we were expressing this by yelling at one another. It was a very therapeutic 20 minutes.
I like the idea that it's like we're not allowed to track to know which users are kids. Mm-hmm. So what we'll do is we'll track every single other demographic of user. And it's like, doesn't that mean that just the ones that you're not tracking are like, if you're tracking everything except one category, then anything that isn't in the ones that you're tracking is that one category,
also,
right?
what 12-year-old doesn't know that when you sign up for YouTube, you put your age down as 18?
Well, because there's like the separate YouTube kids, right? Like that's actually like a thing. Like YouTube has like a kids portal.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's issues with that.
Mm-hmm.
But presumably the whole point of that is that it's kids watching it.
Anyway.
I feel like it's one of those things where like they don't really know what what the problem is and what the solution is, and also the people who are like the sort of idea of enforcing it, that people don't really know what the problem is or what the solution is. It's just like, kids, we should be doing stuff.
Yeah.
Probably.
Question there from Kite saying, is the goal for reduced swearing on stuff like the paper fight, on the Magic channel, really, is that for family/kid watching stuff? And I mean, yeah, basically. Like, I mean, it's two things. It's better for kids and family to watch.
Just in general.
And also because YouTube was going on a tear of demonetizing things involving swearing.
Yeah.
Partially because of family. It's all sort of connected, but yeah. So we were like, let's try not to swear so much on the Magic content so that families can watch it.
Swearing in the first part of the video is more important too.
All right. Save that for the post watershed of the video you're watching.
Anyway, let's talk about stuff that we talked about.
Sorry. So Half-Life Alyx, I mentioned, that was the first story, wasn't it?
No, the Riot Games one.
Oh, the Riot Games, yeah.
The Riot Games thing, obviously, it is what it is.
Mostly it was an excuse to talk about the sheer scope of Riot's money.
Yeah. I think it's worthwhile to point out, and I feel like something that has been missed sometimes when people are commenting about it, is that this is not, it's not like, people were screwed over by the legal system necessarily, like in the sense that it's like I've seen people commenting and being this like, that's a travesty, that they should have been awarded more or whatever. Mm-hmm. This is a settlement. This is an out-of-court settlement.
Yeah.
Whether they were pressured into that, who knows? But so this was a pre-trial thing.
Yeah. Whether it should have been more is a matter for debate that I'm not really interested in getting into. But as my numbers were saying, it definitely could have been more very easily and not been a big deal for Riot.
Yeah. Also, just the idea and like the idea that it's like a class action lawsuit, and the class that is the class action lawsuit is every woman working at Riot is pretty damning.
Yeah. So that was sort of the extent of that. And then I was like, oh yeah, wait, a bunch of people were trying to unionize at Riot, and the last story I found about that was June. Most of it was in May. There was the walkouts and everything, and then there was an update in June that was like, they're still trying, and then haven't heard anything about it. So
I've noticed that Riot has stopped referring to their employees as rioters, which used to be a thing, and they've kind of downplayed that aspect of it these days.
Smart. The Death Stranding bug I find really funny.
I mean, it's not a bug.
It's not a bug. It's
Working
operating
as
as intended.
intended.
It's just
should-
Death Stranding griefing, I suppose.
Yeah, I love the idea of where it's like, you know, you can like leave stuff in the world for other people to deal with.
Which is generally great.
Although apparently one of the big things that people like to do is you can set up zip lines, and people set up zip lines that just go off cliffs. I hope that like you set up a zip line that goes off a cliff, and then there's like a sign that says like watch that first step as you go off.
Yeah.
But yeah, the idea that you could just like park a car in front of the door that you have to go through, and you're just kind of screwed.
Because apparently, I haven't played Death Stranding yet. I very much want to, but as I understand it, you can't like interact. You can't destroy items that are left by other players. Well, no, you can. So your character can use like ranged explosives, I think it is, to destroy the vehicles, but you can't like get in and move it.
Right.
Right. That's the like if it was just like you park a car there and you're like, oh darn, and you get in and then you know you move it, then it's like, okay, I guess that's annoying. But yeah, there's a way that it's a problem.
Apparently there are situations where, like even before, you know, even
My water is gone.
even without the sort of griefing aspect to it, there are situations where it's just like difficult parts in the game will end up with like a pile up of cars.
Amazing.
And then the level cap thing,
Yeah.
which is mostly so there's a big patch for Apex Legends that came out. One of the and the other thing that I find actually kind of funny about the patch, which we didn't talk about, but there's the main shotgun, I guess, or like the like one of the most popular like shotgun in the game happens to be like, apparently it's just like been ridiculously overpowered. Like they've nerfed it like 3 or 4 or 5 times. Like they keep nerfing it, and it's still like the best weapon in the game. And so they apparently have tried to nerf it yet again. But then also, yes,
One of these days.
I was just like reading through these patch notes. I was like, oh, that's kind of funny with them nerfing the shotgun again. Wait, they increased the level cap from 100 to 500?
That's so big.
What?
That's so big.
So is that just like you can just keep leveling up forever, or is it like they changed the scaling or something? It just like seems like, so are level 100 people now like fighting like our level 500
matter?
people like 500 times as good?
I don't think that matters, though. I think it's just time. I think it's just like a track. I don't think it makes you any stronger in Apex Legends.
No.
Like, so there's the seasonal track in Destiny 2. They added a seasonal track thing in year 3, and it's got 100 levels. And at every level, if you have the season pass, and you get better stuff, and you get stuff every level. It's just like the mastery one in arena, so on thing. Right. So that goes up to 100. After which point, you can keep getting levels, but you just don't get anything. But you just keep getting. What level are you, Foxmar? Foxmar plays a lot more Destiny than I do. But yeah, did they add loot for those levels? Yeah, Foxmar's level 300 because it's the same. It's 100,000 experience for every level. It doesn't scale. Right, which is good, but it's like,
I'm assuming, like, I didn't read into it a lot, but I'm assuming if they increase the level cap to 500, but there's still a level cap.
I guess it matters.
Like, there must be something you get in those levels.
I don't know.
Anyway, I just found that funny, and also it's like, yeah, level 30 in Division 2, pa. Mm-hmm. Lame-o.
So, okay, every 5th level, you get one of the loot box engrams. Okay. And then, yeah, so we talked last week. We were like, look, unless there's like more news about Half-Life Alyx, there's no point in talking about it at this point because all the jokes have been made.
Right.
So I thought it'd be funny to be like, look, this is why we didn't talk about it. But now there's more information because, man, yeah, it's like the news was like Campo Santo's new game, not canceled, but
Valve never cancels things.
Yeah, but it's on indefinite hold while they work on this and Dota Underlords and other stuff, which is the auto chess game. So
I was
the Mario Maker update, right? Shoot, sorry. Yeah,
I was saying to Graham, what I find kind of what I'm imagining this is because of course Valve has this interesting thing that's controversial and possibly why they haven't actually made any games in a long time.
Yeah.
But anyway, they have this very this sort of known thing where people basically work on whatever projects they want to work on. Like apparently the desks all have literally wheels and you just like wheel your desk into whatever group you want to work on.
yeah.
And according to interview with the head of Capital Center, I forget what his name is, but he was like in the interview, he's like, so yeah, that whole like you can work on any project you want to thing that they talk about at Valve, it turns out that's true, and our team kind of evaporated. And I'm just imagining like a Toy Story 2, you know. When somebody loves you.
Paul has this mental picture of like the Campo Santo team, all their desks.
And then they
start fading away.
The time lapse of them like fading away, and it was just the one guy left, being all sad. So it's not like Valve, you know, it's not like they bought and gutted the team like you know, like you would expect from like Activision or EA or something. Yeah. Apparently, it's just there were more interesting things to work on at Valve, which I guess is cool.
Sup, nerds? You want to work on your like artsy Egypt thing, or you want to make a new Half-Life? Oh, what?
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me just take that off my LinkedIn profile. So.
I mean, one would question why they bought Capital Center in the first place. Then, like, couldn't they just have got a bunch of guys? But anyway, because everyone was assuming that because what Valve has done in the past is bought companies that were making games that were mostly done and then just like released them as Valve, you know, like released them as Valve games.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, they're not doing that.
So.
And then, let's see other stuff. Oh yeah. If you want to be super cool.
And I do.
Yeah. I think we've actually these people have come up before. Company called Analog does super cool like pumped up retro pumped up re-releases of retro consoles, and pumped up in the sense that they're like substantially better than the actual like original one. They've made one for Genesis and one for Super Nintendo and maybe one other one, but they're like, you know, the much more high quality parts than the original had, and various other things. And now they've also made like a mobile device, right, or like a mobile thing. That's what we did a story about that a little while ago.
I want that.
So they've teamed up with Hyperdub, which is a UK music collective. And they're now releasing an album on Sega Genesis cartridge, or Mega Drive cartridge, I should say. And it's only available to purchase with an actual, like, one of their hyped up Sega Genesises. So it's like $250 or something.
Wow.
So yeah, you think your vinyl is super retro and cool? Well, how about you have I'm disappointed that you can't just.
But then
buy...
you get to play Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, you actually have you have this cartridge where you can play the songs, and apparently, you know, apparently if you're in the know, these guys are great. You know, this is a great music collective. Not only do you get that, but presumably you also have a Sega Genesis that you can play whatever you want on it. So that's cool. I was disappointed that you can't just buy the cartridge separately. If you have like a Sega Genesis at home, you can just like plug it into and play it. I assume the cartridge works on a normal, like old school, like an actual Sega Genesis.
I assume it would.
But anyway.
I can't look at the...
Yeah, what happens if you plug it into like the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge?
I want to look at the track list, but I can't. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I can't. The website keeps giving me too many redirects.
Also, there was this bizarre commercial for PlayStation Japan, I believe specifically.
Yeah.
Produced this commercial that initially everyone was like, "Wow, that's a really great, that's like super neat and inventive." This animated commercial and stuff of like just all the cool things that show up in various PlayStation games, and people are like, "Wow, that's really cool." Mm-hmm. And then various links started, or various like tweets and things started coming out from animators, both like student and also professional animators, being like, did you trace my stuff?"
Like there's even a clip from the Steven Universe movie in there.
Yeah, and then somebody there's and it's and when you hear that, it's like, oh, whatever, they like had a similar feel or something. But there's a side by side video that somebody posted, and
Let
it's
me see
like,
if I can I try to put it up?
Yeah.
Because it's honestly, I mean,
it's like weird.
It's honestly amazing that they took all these disparate things and they were like, yes, this is exactly the sort of we want to have them do this flip and land, and then it cuts to a different cartoon, like, and then get up and do this, and it's like it
must require a fair amount of talent to trace that and combine all these like traces,
find
together.
all the parts and put it together. It would be a really cool montage if it was like, like, hey, I'm a video editor and I made this cool montage from all of these cited animation sources where it sort of looks like the main character is flowing between all these scenes, and it's like, oh yeah, that's super cool, and then this person just traced over the whole thing to make it the same character the whole time. One sec.
Yeah, so it's very, but it's like super weird. I believe it. Yeah, it's been taken down now. Although they found there's people have uploaded it, of course. But yeah, I mean, and people are talking about like the animation world is not that big, and so the idea that presumably this is one of those things that like, they weren't like, whoa, haha, we'll get away with this, but it's sort of there's sort of various levels of bureaucracy between who made the thing and Sony or whatever.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that wind. That was a YouTube commercial. 1 second. Ad source. Screen capture. How do I... Smart selection. No. How do I do just... there we go. Click and drag. This was all very well planned, you see.
Are you...
What?
Is it black and white for you guys?
Wait, you saw that? No, I don't. It shouldn't be. Wait,
Probably not.
Why didn't that work?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Yeah, we're still...
I'm just going to get something to eat quick.
Okay. Try taking off if there's like...
I'll just do the... Oh, what?
If there's exclusive window capture, turn that off.
Oh, okay. That explains it. All right, hang on. Exclusive.
There's an easier way of doing this if we're prepared ahead of time.
It's exclusive window capture. There we go. All right. So check this out.
Yeah, like so on the right hand side there is this Sony video.
It's so many different sources.
Yeah. It's just like, is this that much less effort than just doing it yourself? Than not copying somebody else? I guess you save on storyboarding?
I guess. Like, it's super cool, but it's also like super not cool.
Anyway. Yeah, but just especially like Steven, like an actual like TV show, like an actual like movie.
That's what I was saying. Account made for ants. The original video is like really interesting, sourcing all of that stuff. What is this phone number?
All right, other stuff. Halo, Halo Reach is coming out for PC. In addition to, I believe, the other like Halo Master Chief Collection stuff is finally coming out for PC.
Yeah.
And what's cool about Halo Reach for PC will actually have an option for you to turn off anti-cheat measures. Obviously, you can't play like ranked stuff online.
Tokushima Ruta has a Twitter statement from Alan Animation, which is the studio that Sony contracted, and they said that we had no knowledge the work produced by Kevin Bao was plagiarized. We have ceased. Anyway, they fired him and are waiting for a statement from him. But it's as everyone assumed, it got kicked down the line to the animator because
a Canadian animator, I believe. So
making us look bad.
Yay.
Yeah, hurrah! Yeah.
But yeah, so there's an option in the Halo Reach to turn off anti-cheat measures. Obviously, you can't play like ranked matches and stuff.
Yeah.
But the idea is that it'll make modding easier. So if you want to, have mods and stuff that'll mess with your system and whatever, make your Master Chief look like Kirby or I don't know, whatever you want to do with your Halo mods. And consider like Halo obviously has a long and storied history of modding stuff, everything from full game stuff to like red versus blue and all that kind of stuff. So the idea that they just have like an option to turn off I like that. Like it's like if you're not playing online or you don't care about that aspect of it, then it's like Plus, I would imagine I'd be curious to see if somebody actually does some benchmarking. Presumably, it would increase the performance too, because anti-cheat measures do have an impact on the performance of the game. Unfortunately.
There's a congressman who this was tangentially gaming related, but gaming sites reported on it. You'll see why in a second.
Duncan Hunter,
Republican congressman for somewhere in California somewhere, pled guilty to stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars in campaign funds for things such as fast food, movie tickets, groceries, dog food, overseas vacations, plane tickets.
Not even like cool stuff.
Okay. There's some luxury hotels, overseas vacations, plane tickets for their family's pet rabbits, Egbert and Cadbury, and about $1,300 in Steam games.
When I first saw this, like the way the article was like headlined and stuff, I thought it was like $100,000
in
on
Steam
Steam
games?
stuff. I was
No.
like, how would you spend that much? But I think we can all agree, plane tickets for your pet rabbits, completely legitimate business expense.
There's someone in the comments that they're talking about how it's great seeing this story from different sources, because it's like
Depending
Polygon,
on what aspect they...
Yeah, because Polygon, of course, is a gaming website, is reporting it and framing it around how much he spent on Steam games. And there was another website that they saw that is like about pets, and it was framing it entirely around the plane tickets for the rabbits.
Look, how else is he going to get his rabbits around, okay?
How are you going to get Egbert and Cadbury to where they need to be?
Do you want to put the rabbits like under the plane? Is that the kind of person you are? No.
So Polygon wraps
They
up
get
by
their
saying
own seats.
The maximum penalty for this case would be 5 years in prison and a $250,000 fine, or roughly 6,251 copies of Halo: The Master Chief Collection, the current top-selling game on Steam.
That was actually a bit of a story, actually, that Halo Master Chief Collection is like, considering it's a game that's been out for a really long time. They just released it for PC and it has been doing very well in terms of sales.
I saw an edited GIF that was from Ratatouille of Remy, labeled as 343 Industries, watching the critic take a bite of Halo Reach remastered and like whoomph, going back to his childhood where his mother Bungie is giving him the original Halo Reach, and just oh, so yeah, there's a lot of that. So this one's great. Is in this world of legal marijuana. kids today are going to grow up without the experience, which is not something I ever experienced myself, but this is a story I've heard from so many people of going to your dealer's house and having to make it look like you're not just going into his house buying weed and leaving. So you have to sit down and play Nintendo with your dealer for like 45 minutes. I've heard this experience from so many people. They're like, yeah, that was the worst part. You just got to sit down and play Mario Kart with this guy in his crappy basement.
I feel like I've seen that as like a sketch comedy trope.
I know.
Of the like having to hang out with your dealer.
Yeah. So anyway, an easier way to do that is that this guy's selling cocaine through his PlayStation.
Yeah, over PSN.
Basically, because he figures, I believe correctly, that PlayStation audio party chat or like in-game chat is not logged anywhere. So it's the FBI dealing with an informant who was talking to this guy who was selling like a lot of cocaine. Basically, they'd have like text conversations and be like, "Yo, using code words and stuff like need a bit, whatever," and then they'd be like, "Okay, cool, meet me in game," and then they'd get in game and talk about it, and they don't have the transcripts of any of that, but then they would meet up and actually do the exchange. What I love about this in particular is that because you can read the court documents, and it's written like an 8th grade book report, because it needs to be very legal and very cool. So this is information regarding Sony and PlayStation. So this is section 10 of the report. I have learned that PlayStation is a video game console developed by Sony that is capable of connecting to the internet. The most recent PlayStation consoles connect to the internet through the PlayStation Network, an online digital media entertainment service whose features include Friends List, online gaming, and instant messaging.
Really trying to hit the 500-word...
Yeah. So it's because it's like they have to be like, here's all the information
all the
about
background
it.
info,
But
yeah.
it's just leading with the like, I have learned this, and it's just, to us it sounds funny. It doesn't say what game they played.
See, so when I saw this story, my first reaction was, isn't like PSN like it's good, like the online console online networks or communications has got to be one of the most monitored like online communication things.
Oh yeah, there's a bit
in the sense of like, they're constantly checking for trolling and spam stuff and bad behavior and this kind of stuff. Like there's been numerous high profile situations of not illegal stuff, but people getting hit for using bad language or hurtful stuff or saying offensive things and stuff. So it's just like the idea that it's like, I'll go to. It's kind of like one of those. It's like they'll never expect me to do something this.
It's so like if they were playing, for example, Destiny on PlayStation, is Bungie like retaining in-game chat? Because you can use in-game chat or Sony chat, and we always used Sony because the in-game chat was not good. But if you're using the in-game voice chat, is Bungie like logging?
I mean,
the year's worth of audio chatter? Probably not.
I mean, but like in order to do like to do like when you report somebody, they have to be able to go back and listen to the chat stuff, I'm assuming.
I don't know. Got to check the TOS at Bungie. I guess so. Here's actually part of that police report, or the FBI report. The information that is automatically collected by Sony includes A, web browsing network or service usage data such as browser type, internet service provider, IP address, referring and exit pages, operating system, date, timestamp, and clickstream data. B, network connected hardware, e.g. computer, gaming console, or mobile device data, such as a unique device identifier, type, model, version, error-related data, status, capability, configuration, functionality, performance data, and connection type. So presumably Sony knows I have an iPhone because they're on the same Wi-Fi. C, network connected software data such as application utilization, gameplay, game system, video and audio, progress, utilization, performance, peripheral, and devices used. content downloaded and viewed. D, physical or geographic location such as country, region, city, or latitude and longitude. For example, to provide location-based game matching service, Sony may collect latitude and longitude. It says there. So, and obviously at the end of this thing, there's like, here's everything we've asked Sony for. So, and what was the guy's username? It was like Speedola20. Yeah.
Cocaine for you.
Speedala20. There you go.
I like the idea if you're trying to do it, you're like trying to do a, you're trying to do a drug deal in Fortnite or whatever game you're playing. But you keep getting like ganked before you can actually complete the thing.
God damn it.
It's like, hey, if you want a voice chat, go somewhere else. We're playing here.
Yes, this is the post-show chat.
Yeah.
Skajetalaf.
It's
I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry.
In this context, Smokahontas 420 seems positively like very nice. Like,
oh my god.
Like, well, all that implies is marijuana, right?
Oh, I need to share some with you. I mean, Foxmar has a whole Tumblr for this, which everyone should check out. But the move to Steam has been just a boon for dumb Destiny names. I mean, Yeetus Deletus is okay. Right. Cheesy Gordita Crunch. TV and stereo set, $799.99 as a username.
Cool.
The Dankest Memes. Just the username, The Dankest Memes. And then this, I love this one. So it's soft. So the certain words get censored. So it's soft, 4 asterisks, ERY biscuits. Soft blank-ery biscuits.
Who knows what that word could be?
I postulate soft shittery biscuits. That's my bet.
That would be very soft, I guess.
Oh yes, poop chongus. from
that
the clan. No,
that didn't get
from the clan.
Buttery got
from the clan Chongus conglomerate. There's more than one.
The well-known Chungus conglomerate.
No, with an O. Chongus.
Chongus conglomerate. They do international business, you see.
Yeah. Anyway,
let's. We're already over time into.
Are we?
LRMGG time.
Oh,
here.
whoops. Sorry, Adam.
So let's welcome some subs and then get on to LRMTG.
Let's do it.
Starting with Mike Smith, 9/16 for 66 months. Thank you very much.
Aquilidor for 47 months. Welcome back.
Mew Forever 23 for 50 months.
Status 42 for 16 months. Welcome back.
Ryson 75
The Chongus Among Us.
for 75 months. Thank you very much.
There is a Chongus Among Us. The Green Monster 450 for 35 months. Welcome back.
Sam's Skunkworks for 67 months.
Nice. Ninjutsu Monkey 45 months. Welcome back.
RWD130 for 26 months.
Desday 23 months. Welcome back.
Tragic MTG for 62 months.
Viral Stitch for 30 months. Welcome back.
Mericles. Sure. For 30 months.
Rustin Skirk for 20 months. Welcome back.
A catastrophic success for 24 to 2 years. Terrible success.
Evil Kron 13 for 72 months. Welcome back.
Not the bees. It's a new subscriber.
Get out there and shoot the bees.
Yeah.
Welcome to the channel. Simon 40 Russell for 38 months. Welcome back.
XXX
X.
X 420 Blazing Snipe 69 XXX.
It's imbalanced.
Yeah, that's that. I think that's what bugs me the most.
That upsets me. That's amazing. All right. Shadmed for 30 months. Welcome back.
Chungus Humongous.
I think it's Chung. Oh, it is Chungus Humongous.
Yeah.
Humongous.
Humongous. Chungus Humongous.
Thanks, Maricat.
Wait, there's no N. Yeah.
Why?
Chungus Humongous.
I thought it was Chungu Shuma, whatever. And 1,500 bits. Thank you so much. From Red Shoes Jeff, Space Battery, the Maricat, E-Block, Brozard, and Earthen One. Thanks, everybody. Don't go away. Adam, and then maybe me later, is going to be back almost immediately with LRR MTG.
And speaking of Magic, tomorrow we've got Friday Night Paper Fight.
Yes, we got Card Kingdom's new booster set, Lumeria 2.
Yeah.
Come check that out, too.
And speaking of Adam, after LRMTG, we've got
bonus Dice Friends book time.
Bonus Dice Friends. Adam reads you a little story
Read a
and
little
rolls
book.
dice.
Yeah.
And sometimes kills things. Yeah. And sometimes gets killed by things.
Thorso card? No, it shouldn't already be sold out this time. That was it was more popular than they expected last time. How do we turn this thing off? You do it.
I can do that.
Paul can do it from his phone.
I mean, probably. And was there something else that we had talked about? Road
What?
RoadQuest merch. You should buy it.
Oh yeah. Go buy RoadQuest merch. It's real good. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.